Hello, you're in the kitchen with Donna, and today we're going to be making Comfrey Salve. Now you can make Comfrey Salve one of two ways. You can use comfrey oil that has been infused with the dried comfrey plant, or you can use the dried comfrey plant that's been ground up into powder. I'll be using the powder today because I like to reserve my oil for other uses. What you'll need is some kind of oil, 1 cup. I'm using fractionated coconut oil tonight. You'll need 1 cup of the oil, carrier oil of your choice. That can be olive oil or any oil that you like to use in your salves. I use fractionated coconut oil. 1 ounce of beeswax. This is 4 medium comfrey leaves. It's about 1/8 of a cup. It's half of this 1/4. So it's about 1/8 of a cup of comfrey leaves here that I've dried and ground into powder. And this is an optional ingredient, Thymol. This is red thyme oil. I'm going to be adding that because it's an added antibacterial oil that'll help in this salve for it to be not only healing from the comfrey, but also antibacterial. You'll need a double boiler. I've got this little double boiler that I ordered off of Amazon strictly for these purposes, is to make salve. I've got my water boiling in this little double boiler, and I'm going to take my ounce of beeswax and I'm just going to grate it into this. Well, I was going to grate it into this boiling water here, but I think it'll be much easier just to grate it into a separate bowl and then put it into that. Once you have your beeswax grated, or you can buy the little beeswax beads or pellets, they're already grated up for you, and that makes it a lot easier for them to melt to make your salve. But once you have your ounce of beeswax grated up, you just add it into your little double boiler. You want to take your cup of oil, and add it in your little double boiler. And make sure your beeswax is thoroughly melted and incorporated into the carrier oil. Now once all of your beeswax is incorporated into your carrier oil, in this case it's fractionated coconut oil, you want to add your 4 comfrey leaves that have been ground into a powder, or your comfrey infused oil. It would already be added into the in here because your carrier oil would be the infused comfrey oil. So if you choose to use the comfrey oil, that you've made from an oil infusion of dried comfrey leaves and oil, then that would be your cup of oil that's in here, and your comfrey would already be in here. But since I'm using the powder, and I'm using the powder because I think it is stronger, I think it makes a stronger salve. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the Thymol. And I'm just going to use just a few drops of this Thymol because it's very strong in itself. Maybe 6 drops. And the thing about Thymol is it has a medicine-y smell. The most common thing I think it's used in is in Listerine. So that you can tell by that, if you know what that smells like, what this salve smells like. The actual comfrey doesn't really have a smell. And then this little pot has a little spout for pouring. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my jars. Now this comfrey salve will have a bright green color. I tend to like to have a kind of a loose salve or a tight salve. You can have a, and what that means is loose would be, when it dries, it would dry and it wouldn't be as hard. And then firm, it would be harder. But either one to your preference. But this usually makes a good, the 1 cup to 1 ounce of, the 1 cup of oil to 1 ounce of beeswax usually makes a good ratio for a good salve. We'll just let this cool off now, and then we'll put the lids on. I like to use opaque glass to make to store this salve, but if a clear glass is all you have, then that'll be perfectly okay. The thing about the opaque glass is, like most herbs and essential oils and things, comfrey is sensitive to light. So if you're going to make up a batch ahead, then you want to use either amber or dark blue or some kind of opaque glass. But if you're going to use it up, then like this will be the first one that I'll start on. This will be the first one that I'll use. So we'll just let these cool now, and you can see the dark green color. And when these cool, we'll put the lids on and put labels on them. I apologize for the audio difficulty. What I was saying is you want to make sure, if you can, to put your salve in an opaque, in a blue, cobalt blue or amber container, if you can, because comfrey and, like most herbs, are sensitive, and essential oils, they're sensitive to light. But if a clear jar is all you have, then that should be good for a short time. But I would use this one first. I would use the clear jar first, and these will keep better. I wanted to show you the consistency of this, and it's the consistency of a salve. That'll help you. And you want to be sure to always label your salves so you'll know what's in them, especially if you make more than one kind. I'm going to let these cool just a little bit longer before I put the lid on. But that's this comfrey salve, Thank you for joining me today, and like always, until next time.